Teacher's log. Kinder Adventures. We're back. It's been a minute. Trust me. Even though I haven't posted a video in a while, this does not mean that there has not been events going on. There has. Please believe it. First, let's talk about perspectives. I don't understand the kids' perspectives, and tell you why. Specifically because I don't understand how some things that are not funny in any way, shape, or form are the funniest thing to them. Um, and I warned you before. I told you that sometimes when these kids when they laugh at you, uh, especially when all of them laugh at you together, it's almost offensive, and it makes you feel like you're ready to fight some 5-year-olds. Like you kind of get this feeling where you're like, oh really, really? Like I mean, y'all want to square up, y'all want to catch these hands. Oh hey, meet me at the tether ball. Meet me at the tether ball right after school. Obviously, that's not going to happen because I'm a grown man, but you understand that the frustration is there, and that's kind of where your mind goes for a quick second, and then you realize that that's not really even close to reality. Um, but then, like the perception is, then at the same time, it takes a lighter side. So like, I'm sitting there waiting outside for the kids to get picked up, and one of the kids, one of the assistants is out there, and she's like, "Hey, so what car are we looking for so and so?" And I was like, "Oh, for this one, we're looking for a Jeep." And I feel a little tug on my shirt, and I hear Mr. E, kind of aggressive. I'm like, "Yes, little person," and she's like, "It is not a Jeep, it is a car." And I'm like, "Okay, first of all, I'm sorry. I did not realize that it was not a Jeep and that it's a car. We are looking for a car that looks like a Jeep." And she said, "It's not a Jeep, it's a car." I said, "Okay, little person, I'm sorry. It's a car. We're looking for a car." What I should have done is I should have spelled it out because I know they can't spell yet. We haven't got there. So that's with perception. Aside from that, you want to talk about some strange things? Okay, let me tell you this story. So, remember, I teach 5-year-olds. So, all the boys, their voices are high, like really high, squeaky high, like Mickey Mouse, okay? So, just picture that. Now, we're walking down the hallway, and my kids are starting to do a really good job. They walk down the hallway, everything's good, no more traffic jams, okay? So, they're walking down the hallway, and all of a sudden, I could have sworn that in my line was Barry White at the beginning of a song, like, hey, because someone let out the loudest, longest, deepest burp I've ever heard. The fact that it came out of some little body that's 5 years old surprises and baffles me, and I think all science has been proven wrong at this particular junction. So I turn around and I'm looking at the kids, and the kids are all confused because the sound was so deep it was bouncing off the walls like echo, 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 echo. They're all confused. I have 16 people pointing at 16 other people because no one knows who did it, and whoever did it is sitting there pointing at somebody else. I don't understand how. I didn't figure out who it was just yet. Okay, so then we get to the class, and I'm still trying to figure out who it was, right? But we go to the carpet, and everybody's, we're doing our lesson and everything like that. And I'm like, okay, guys, give me a second to load up this next, video or lesson, whatever it is, right? And all of a sudden, I just hear this, and it sounded like a dirt bike going down the road. Okay, that's what it sounded like, or someone was pulling up carpet. And I was like, I look and I see one of the kids levitating like they're on a magic carpet from Aladdin, and I'm like, okay, so it was you. You just got air coming out all over places and stuff today. Okay, okay. And then once he landed, he just sat there like it was nothing. And I'm like, is this kid gonna say excuse me, or is he even gonna giggle or laugh? Like, I mean, absolutely no reaction. Like Eli Manning, just no reaction, just. And I'm like, and I'm looking at the kids around him, and they're just all like, so I'm thinking it's one of two things. Either he actually stunned them and put them like in a trance, like a spell, like something so bad that you literally can't react. All your organs are frozen or something like that. Or they just didn't care because no one reacted. I'm sitting there like, ain't you, none of you. This kid just air doo doo and didn't no one say nothing. And it was so loud, like I said, I mean, it rumbled. I, he lifted off the ground. So anyway, that happened. Then later on, I have a girl who, sweet little girl, who raises her hand, and I'm like, okay, just a moment. And I come over and I'm like, yes, little person, how can I help you? And she just stares at me. And I'm like, what? You know I'm gonna miss you when I'm gone. Where are you going? You moving? No. Well, what are you talking about? When I go home. Oh, uh, why? Sometimes I feel like you don't want to be here. Well, as if I was supposed to know the answer. Well, it's because I love you. And I'm like, oh, thank you, little person. Uh, I think. And then she just went like this and kept staring at me. And I was like, stop it. And she's like, hee 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 hee. This wasn't giggles. This wasn't giggles. So, like I said, things have not stopped. So, that's it for today, though. But I will be back tomorrow. I do have more. So trust me on that. But with that, I will end transmission.